If you don't set goals, your life could literally depend on it. And in this episode, I'm going to explain why. Hello, my name is James Taylor. I'm an online life coach, hypnotherapist, counsellor, author, podcaster, and YouTuber. And this channel is all about helping you get better results for your life. This one, I want to talk about a bit of a serious one, and it's about goal setting and why it is so important. Now, in a former career, I was a detective with the police, and the police is a strange profession because when everyone is running away from a situation, the police have to run towards it and deal with it and be professional in their manner. And the police also see some terrible things that no one should ever see, and it takes its toll. Now, a funny fact, or maybe not so funny, that you may not realise is that when the police retire, on average, about 6 years after they retire, they die. And I've got a theory about this. I think it's an accumulation of all the things that they've seen, but also I think it's because they don't have a goal. They retire, they do their thing, they play some golf, they might pay off the mortgage, they might get a car, and then that's pretty much it. And I don't think that's healthy. I think as human beings, we need to have a goal, and we always need to be striving for something. So what are your goals? You may not have the same experiences as some of my former colleagues are having right now, but what goals are you setting for yourself? Now, I would say it's really important to do so. I'll tell you the true story. I've got some plants at home, and I was away for a month recently, and I thought, well, I'm going to need my plants watering, otherwise they're going to die. So my daughters were coming over and watering the plants for me. And they did a fantastic job, I've got to say, because when I came back, these plants are now blooming and new leaves are forming on the plants. And the new leaves that are forming, they're quite big, and they're actually bigger than all the other leaves. And it's nice seeing them grow. But what's that got to do with goal setting? Well, it's the persistence. It's the constantly turning up or having something turn up for you, even if you're not available, right? So in this episode, I'm going to talk about 3 Ds, the letter D, 3 Ds regarding goal setting. So you set yourself a goal, all right, and then approach it with this 3D mindset. Here's what they are. The first D is delegate. Can you delegate an aspect of this goal to somebody else? Now, I'm just going to go off on a segue moment. I don't know whether you like the old Star Trek with Captain Kirk and Spock and this kind of stuff. I like Star Trek and I like those. I don't go to conventions. I don't get dressed up as a Klingon. I just like the old series of Star Trek with Captain Kirk. Now, Captain Kirk is the captain. Now, when he wants something done, if there's a problem with the engine, his chief engineer was a guy called Scotty, who, by the way, was American and had the worst Scottish accent you've ever heard in your life. But anyway, the engineer is Scotty. Now, if there's a problem with engineering, what Kirk doesn't do as the captain is leave his role, go down to engineering, pick up a spanner and start trying to figure out what's wrong. He delegates it to Scotty. If there's a communications issue, he delegates that to the communications officer, Uhura. And that was the first interracial kiss on television. I'm just full of facts that are probably of no use whatsoever today, but that was the first interracial kiss. Now, Spock was his science officer, very logical.
Captain, I suggest the Vulcan mind probe.
Now, Kirk was very emotional in some of his responses, and Spock is like his right-hand man saying, well, actually, Captain, logic dictates this, all right? Now, Kirk wouldn't go over and start chatting to all different alien races. That was Uhura's job. He wouldn't go down to engineering and start trying to fix the spaceship. That was Scotty's job. And he would listen to Spock regarding the logical science kind of things. So the first D is delegation, all right? So when you got a goal, can you delegate a part of it to someone else to help you get there? Just like I did with my daughters when they were watering my plants for me. The second D is, can you defer it? Can you put the task off because something else has to come first? One of the things I like to make is chocolate brownies. I've got this fantastic chocolate brownie recipe. But if I want to make chocolate brownies, I can't just make them. I have to defer the making of it because I have to go and get the ingredients from the supermarket. So can you defer part of your goal setting because something else has to come first? That's the second one, defer. And the third one is do it.
Get your ass out of bed and get to work. Now! Move!
Just do it. Get on with it. Make the steps, make the plan, sit down, get it in order in your mind, figure it out, and then start doing it. All right. Now, a study was done where people who set big, exciting goals tend to have more of a big, exciting life than people who set very mediocre goals. They tend to have more of a mediocre life. So with your goals, do they excite you? Do they frighten you? I remember a mentor of mine telling me about, there was a goal that he was going for years earlier, and he was sitting on the edge of his bed talking to his wife, and he had his head in his hands, and he said, I just know I'm on the right track. I know I can do this. I just know it's the right thing to do. And she wasn't used to seeing him this way, looking so nervous and apprehensive. And she says, how do you know? He said, because it scares the hell out of me. So does your goal scare the hell out of you? It doesn't have to, of course, but is there something you really want to go for? Something that you've been putting off, you've been deferring for too long, but you've been deferring in the wrong way. You've been deferring by just not doing anything about it. Where the better way of deferring is to figure out what steps come first and get on with that. All right? So there's the 3 Ds. Delegate, defer, and do it. So this is James from Write Your Own Story. Please remember to do the like, the share, and the subscribe. If you'd like some help with your own goals, there'll be a link in the description on how to get in touch with me. All right? So I hope you're doing okay wherever you are in the world. Bye-bye.